Scott Walker was speaking at CPAC, and he was asked a question. Since he is the prospective presidential candidate for the Republican Party, possible the presumptive nominee, perhaps presumptive in his mind, of course. The money does back him a little bit, so he's got a better chance than a lot of other people so far. Now, he was asked a question at CPAC about what he would do if you were president to take on ISIS.
Should you become commander-in-chief, how would you deal with threats such as ISIS?
Well, the interesting thing, sometimes people in the media don't understand that as a governor, I actually get a threat assessment from the FBI and from my adjutant general. And without divulging confidential information, I would tell you for years I've been concerned about that threat, not just abroad, but here in American soil. I want a commander-in-chief who will do everything in their power to ensure that the threat from radical Islamic terrorists do not wash up in American soil. We will have someone who leads and ultimately will send a message not only that we will protect American soil, but do not take this upon freedom-loving people anywhere else in the world. We need a leader with that kind of confidence. If I can take on 100,000 protesters, I can do the same across the world.
Okay, that was a campaign speech and not a answer to that actual question. Like, he dodged the question and was like, you know what, we need such and such and such. In order to do this, vote for me. Without the vote for me part, but you know that's essentially what he was playing at. But did you hear the last part? Did you hear the last part? I took on 100,000 protesters. If I can take on protesters, I can take on ISIS. Are the protesters as bad as ISIS? Are you actually making that comparison? If you are, you're an idiot. How is 100,000 protesters as bad as Islamic terrorism? Maybe it's the mindset that the people who protest against me, because, look, once again, a little bit of background on what Scott Walker had been doing in Wisconsin. He signed a right-to-work law just recently, in fact, to the tune of hundreds of thousands of protests. Okay? He got rid of collective bargaining rights for public sector unions and for private sector. He's looking to get rid of that. So there's some context into that statement. He's faced a lot of protests, but those protests aren't even close to what ISIS would do. So, look, this is more of a campaign speech, and actually, the ISIS comparison is ridiculous. I can't believe he's stupid enough to make that, but there it is. It's CPAC, it's full of stupid.